But also, Cyclothon's great.
Okay.
And raising money's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so is Expedition 33. It's peak.
Oh, you want to
I
talk about
still haven't played it,
It's
dude.
peak.
I want to
It's
play it
peak.
so bad.
It's peak.
I want to play it so bad.
Why
You
have you
know
not
what?
played it?
It pains me to give a W to the French.
Me too. It does suck. It does suck. It does suck that the French have done it again.
We've already given a W to the French with my Madagascar trip. We're giving them another one today. Never happening again.
No, it's dude.
I know
So
I'm
peak.
gonna love the shit out
So
of this
fucking
game,
peak.
but I legitimately have just not had time to
It
play
is
games.
my obsession. It is. I don't know. I kind of half regret starting it on stream because I just kind of like
You gotta finish it.
It took every bone in my body to
Yeah.
be like, no, do not play this now.
Yeah.
You need to wait to be on camera. And I'm like, fuck. I just want to load it up right now and just grind it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's doing very well, very successful. It's made
Yeah.
by a team of 30-ish people.
Damn.
And a lot of, I think, freelancers they hired. But yeah, I mean, it's just genuinely fucking peak.
It's like reinventing turn-based, right? That's what I've heard.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's kind of
it takes elements of. Okay.
I've seen very little of this because I kind of want to just like go into a blind eventually.
Yeah.
But
So it's a little bit like, I guess, the Mario RPG where it's like turn-based combat, but there's like, you have inputs you need to do in order to, either dodge, parry, or strengthen your attacks.
Right.
But it is that system on absolute crack.
right.
it's so sick.
So I don't know if this is a controversial take. It might be a controversial take. But Final Fantasy system.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 remake system.
Okay.
Right? So I am about 8 hours into it. And I know you're a big fan of it. So I wanted to ask because I am waiting for that aha moment with that combat system because it's kind of like a mix between a turn-based system and a real-time combat system, right? It's kind of like a mix between.
Yeah.
So far, it just hasn't gelled with me.
Right.
It just I have tried and I keep trying, but that system I can see the vision and maybe I just haven't played enough of it, or maybe I'm just never going to get that system. But that is a system where it activates the turn-based part of my brain and it activates the real-time battle part of my brain without fully satisfying either part.
Yeah.
Right? And I've said this on stream and, and a lot of people really, really like the combat system. That is my experience. That has been my experience
I
with
think
the
it
system.
doesn't look fun, the battle system.
Right.
Personally.
That has been my feeling with the battle system. Like, and as much as I try, because I keep trying to get back into it, and every time I go back, I'm just like, it just doesn't. It just hasn't gelled with me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Maybe it's a me thing, right? With Expedition 33, this is like a different take that somehow. They say it's a turn-based system, but I'd say it's way more active than it is
Right.
like turn-based in a lot of ways. It is something that fully satisfies the active real-time battle part of my brain and the turn-based part of my brain. And there has never been a game that has been able to achieve that till now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it is just like turn-based there. Like you do get your turn and you wait, but
Yeah.
like there's so much stuff going on that it really feels active in your head because there's you never feel like you have a moment to breathe in these battles. Like you're like, shit, what am I gonna do? I gotta heal. Like fuck, and if I miss this parry, I'm gonna die. And
Yeah.
And then so the main mechanic is parrying and dodging in fights.
Right.
Like you can hit them, and normally hitting the boost on your attacks is
That's pretty easy.
But a lot of bosses, they'll have like, the first enemy you encounter, they'll do a big telegraphed swing, but the sound effects and visuals are so meaty and it feels so good to parry something. And if you parry a whole attack successfully, you can counterattack.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like there is a massive edge you get if you're able to parry. But obviously
Well,
later on the bosses, they start doing like 9-hit combos that you can perfectly parry. And it's basically a rhythm game.
Right.
Because you can listen to like just the audio cues to like
It's probably better with the audio cues.
yeah, the
than
audio cue is
visual
way
cues.
better than the visual cue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Really cool though.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to use this fucking
I know you're
analogy.
gonna say it.
I hate to
You're gonna
use
say
it.
it.
I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it. I gotta
more.
say it. Just very similar to fucking
just the
Dark
Dark Souls.
Souls. It's just very similar to Dark Souls. No, because like here's the thing that changes it from like being a turn-based to like an active real-time like combat system.
Yeah.
Which is you cannot get by this game purely on turn base. You need to learn how to dodge or parry. There is no way to get around it because if you don't, and if you are unable to get this system, you are not going to be able to clear the game.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, there may be a way where you can build like a tank system, but for 90% of builds, you need this system.
Yeah, there was someone who was like, oh, look, if you put it on these difficulty, you can do a whole playthrough without dodging or parrying.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, difficulty. Whereas like on the expert mode, if you get hit once, you just die.
Yeah, I feel that by doing that as well, you take away like a core element of what makes the game fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning the parrying and stuff is very fun and satisfying, to be honest. It's just so cool. And the music is, oh my God, the music is godlike.
Yeah, I've only heard like the best things about it, so I know I'm going to love the shit out of this game.
Acting is phenomenal. And then they found like a SoundCloud composer. Not kidding.
Hell yeah.
And then like the writer, it's their first time writing, and the writing is phenomenal.
Damn.
Like all the characters, and I said this when I was playing the game, but you know, sometimes in JRPGs, there's a little bit of a tropiness that we lean into.
Cheesiness.
Yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of us who like JRPGs, fellas, am I right? Fellas, am I right? Who like
Welcome to the
JRPGs.
club, finally.
Yeah, I like them. I like it. Like, I think that there is that campiness or sometimes unrealistic dialogue that is really fun. Like, it's really, really nice. But it's actually kind of nice to have a bit more dialogue, a bit more grounded in something.
Yeah.
And a bit, like, sometimes the characters will say things, I'm like, shit, that's what I would have said in this situation. Which is, I've never said in a Final Fantasy game in my life. I've never said I would say that.
Well, it's kind of like the writing just feels so fucking natural.
Human, yeah.
Because I don't know if watching like some modern blockbusters has just reprogrammed my brain to be like, they're going to make a joke in this moment.
Make a quip,
They're going to make a quippy quip. And then they just like act it out. And I'm like,
yeah, it's really good.
Wait, this feels real. What's going on? There's no joke.
Oh my,
but like, there's still jokes in there, but it's something that occurs naturally from the situation rather than funny characters saying funny.
Yeah, it's not like an Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner.
No, it's really good, and there are a bunch of goofy characters in it that are really fun. Yeah, and like they just very funny. It really just feels fresh. I think that's like the main thing and why I think people are so excited about it.
Yeah. I know for a fact that I've seen like so many people being like, oh, you know, with this game and how it's like a system that actually like everyone is like really vibing with it, and you know, it's a fresh new take on the turn-based system. It's just going to add a lot of pressure to like, you know, Square Enix and Atlas and all these like big like JRPG makers to like potentially rethink.
I mean, the moment you fucking open the first battle, the menu looks like Persona.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Oh, really?
Like it looks, which I
Say
think,
less.
which I think is just like that's just a natural evolution of how you present information, and I don't think that's fair to be like this is the Persona style. It's like. Yeah, I think maybe you should have a more dynamic thing as opposed to having just a box on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I think it's a natural progression, definitely.
Like, and don't get me wrong, there are you know, and like when there's a new game that comes out that's really good and really innovative and really fun, you can't say a bad thing about it because people get really upset. But like, you know, some of the menus are kind of ass. Like when you want to find the Lumiere points. Getting to the Lumiere is so weirdly placed. It's like you have to go in the menu, click the character you want, go down into the corner, then click this little menu that doesn't show you information, even though it's like arguably the most important thing for your character to know. Right. And so like, and it's very like a minimal complaint, like, you know what I mean? But like even when I would say that, people would be like, what the fuck? How dare you say anything like about this?
I don't know. Like my experience with JRPGs is, or at least RPGs in general, that's just part of the experience. Yeah. And I always have this thing where it's so weird streaming RPGs or like just RPGs in general, because you start up a game, right?
Yeah.
And then people are like, you got to do this, you got to do this. God. And I'm like, you are saying words, funny man.
Yeah.
And what I feel like what I miss from doing these things on stream is this natural point where I'm like 20 hours into the game and I have done the tutorial, but nothing's actually come in, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you don't need to know all the systems until like halfway through the game.
Yeah.
And then you hit like this weird wall and you're like, fuck, this doesn't feel right. Yeah. And then naturally you start going to the menus and you're like, oh, that's why this system is here. And oh, I can do this as well. Oh, I could have done this earlier to do with that boss and blah, 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 blah. And that to me is a much more effective way to like internalize the systems and learn it. And it's so weird being like, flipping that round where I have being on stream, it's almost like the chat wants you to learn the system as it's immediately taught you in the tutorial, which is something I've never done. I've never internalized the system.
You naturally would just learn it as you go a bit more.
Yeah.
And when it
You gotta
becomes more
experiment with
relevant.
it.
Yeah.
But dude, streaming this game was miserable. People were so annoying in the chat, trying to backseat everything and trying to.
Yeah, another reason not to play RPGs on stream.
Well, so classic RPGs and even now I've been streaming Dark Souls. Like that's been really fun because I feel like the communities around those games, because they're a bit older, they really fucking love the game and they just want people to experience it. Like anytime I've played a Final Fantasy game, I've never had a problem with people being annoying.
Yeah.
Like people are so just excited.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, someone's playing fucking Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah.
Like that's like, they're like, dude, let's fucking go.
Hell
Whereas
yeah.
I think when a game is very popular in the moment, a lot of people like feel like they want to be like super knowledgeable about it. And
Sure.
it's just like, shut the fuck up. Just let me play the goddamn game.
Yeah.
But
Especially with something like Elden Ring, for example,
Yeah.
where there is a backseating in that is
oh my God, backseating in Elden Ring is
very,
crazy.
very, and you know what? It's like,
They're not real gamers.
I understand
gamers.
it. I understand it because sometimes, because I know how annoying it is, but then sometimes you watch someone play and just
No, I know.
what are you doing? There is something guttural in you just to be like, I could fix this. I could fix this so easily.
But you just gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let people have fun with the game.
Yeah. Because the big thing about me is when I was playing Elden Ring, I was like, I want to do one thing. I want to do one build. I don't care about any other build. And people are like, no, you got to try this. This is stupid OP. And I'm like, no, I just want to parry. That's it. That's all I'm interested
This
in.
obsession with making like the most OP thing in a single player game blows my mind. So I'm like,
Yeah.
have you never had fun? Like, allow me to introduce you fun.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like you don't need the most OP thing.
Yeah.
You can enjoy a game without necessarily min-maxing every time. You
and
know?
like the fun thing is like making your own kind of like what you feel is like an OP build.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, maybe there is a combo that can one-shot every enemy, but like, you know,
Unless you discover that organically.
yeah, like I made my own like kind of like quadruple basic attack like combo thing, and I felt like, man, this is like a really fun build I made.
Yeah.
Like so I came up with it. I'm sure someone else had made it, but you know what I mean? Like you put the pieces
Yeah, but
together.
you put the pieces together.
And that's really satisfying and to see that plan work as opposed to being like going to YouTube and this is the most broken build in Expedition 33. And then it's like, put this on, and you're like, okay, well, good. I've used no thought to make a thing that steamrolls a game that's supposed to be fun. Like this is not fun for me anymore. Like maybe when I get to like that insane raid boss and I need a bit of help and I'm struggling and none of my builds are working, okay, I can, that's good to have that, but I'm still gonna have a challenge.
Yeah, because I remember early on, I just I found this like OP like Mael build.
Oh yeah, I had that too.
Yeah, you had that too. I was like, wait a minute, I'm reading your abilities, and then this thing and this thing just comes together to make it so I can basically one-shot enemies.
Yeah, I was doing
from
that.
turn one. What is this? How is this allowed? And yeah, it was just really fun to discover that organically. And
it's been really fun, an amazing game. Obviously, we won't talk too much about it.
I'll get to it eventually. Don't worry.
it is very spoiler heavy as well.
Yeah. That's why I haven't seen anything about it. All I've heard that it's like a new, fresh take on a turn-based RPG, and that's all I need to hear.
And
honestly.
what I will say is that if you like the vibe of something like Hell's Paradise or the Dark Continent in Hunter x Hunter, you're gonna love this.
You know I eat that shit.
Yeah. You are going to love this story,
Hell
Joey.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you think it'll make it some of these studios rethink turn-based combat and maybe think like, okay, hold on, there is a world where turn-based combat.
I think it's
modern.
going to make people rethink just big studios in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that this was made by a small team, I'm as interested in the storyline behind the making of Expedition 33 as I am just Expedition 33 in general, because it was made by a very, very small team. Does not feel like it was made by a very, very small
it
team.
feels like fucking
It feels AAA.
It feels
It does.
insane,
It
like
feels
the scope of it.
absolutely AAA.
Because I feel the same thing happened when like Hollow Knight came out, for example, right? Like that was also made by a tiny, tiny team.
Yeah.
And it was just such a polished game for an indie game that it just made everyone rethink like, oh shit, like maybe maybe we don't necessarily need to be triple A.
This also really looks like a AAA game as well.
Yeah,
It's
right.
got like the acting, the
motion capture as well,
cutscenes,
the
cutscenes
mocaps.
so good.
And then you hear about the staff members, like Connor was saying. He didn't even discover the composer from SoundCloud it was even like more niche than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was just looking for a composer, and he put out a post on a forum. A forum. Who the fuck uses a forum anymore?
Yeah.
On this like really super niche game development forum.
Yeah.
And this one composer was like, yeah, I got some spare time. And then from that, he looked at his SoundCloud, and his SoundCloud had one song. SoundCloud had one song. And that was it.
Damn.
That was it. And
Kind of nuts.
yeah.
It's kind of fucked how good the music is.
I mean,
And
whoever looked at that one song was like, we'll take him, must have like seen something.
And it's got one of the best modern video game soundtracks. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Damn.
It's peak. It's pretty
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Holy shit.
I just kind of blown away by it, and it was
Yeah.
really, really fucking fun. And definitely, if you're thinking about it, please play it. It's so good.
yeah.
I'll get to it.
Easily my
anyone?
game of the year. I don't see anything topping that. I mean,
Well, we'll see how the new Mario Kart is, I guess, when that comes out.
I just hope we get more like modern takes on turn-based combat now.
Yeah.
I really want more I want
Yeah.
I like turn-based combat.
you know,
it's fun.
it's a blessing in disguise because I'm so glad I got to play Expedition 33. But also, I think it's ruined every other turn-based combat system for me now. Because I'm like, fuck, man. Nothing's going to give me the same rush
Yeah.
as the combat system in Expedition 33.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that parrying when you hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt good, man. Felt good.
Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these parries were hard to hit. Some of the bosses were fucked up.
Yeah.